Hello, I'm Malcolm West, Lucy's marketing manager, and I'm joined today by my colleague Anastasia from the Solution Engineering team.
Hi.
And we're going to be running a webinar today to talk about the new features in the release version 5.7. This will be the start of a campaign of webinars on various topics. Such an important release, though, we thought this was a good place to start. So during this session, I'm going to be introducing the various topics and Anastasia will be demonstrating them to you. We think this will be much more interesting than just reading the wiki notes to get a much quicker grip with what's going on. So we're going to be covering some automation topics, adaptive phishing and Aura, then the new MS Teams phishing attack, AI translations, and a brief mention of the other improvements, and then questions. If you've got any questions, please use the question and answer facility in the webinar tool, and we'll pick those up at the end, depending on how much time is available. So without further ado, we're going to move on and talk about adaptive phishing. This is the first step in automation for Lucy, and it allows you to run phishing campaigns which react to the user's performance, developing risk ratings and giving different attacks depending on how they perform. So Anastasia is going to switch over now and take you through that.
Yep. Second. So, closing here. The adaptive phishing programs, as Malcolm already mentioned, they are They have the risk-based simulation approach that evolves per user. But before explaining you how they actually work and function, and how can you configure this, I would like to pay your attention on something that we already introduced in the earlier releases, but that is very much connected to adaptive phishing programs, meaning the user risk score. So here, we can see that this is where you can define the risk score for Lucy for each client. So it's multi-tenant. As default, we see that there are 3 risk levels: rookie, advanced, and expert. You can add more risk levels here. You can change icons, so you can adjust this risk level as well. So these parameters as well. The formula behind this is number of attacks sent to the user, like ever sent to the user within the Lucy platform, multiplied by the number of attacks failed. This makes this gives the user a certain risk scoring. This risk scoring will be then implemented in the adaptive phishing. So this is the base. If you would like to change it, you know where to do this. So in the users risk scoring, you can change, you can add multiple more risk levels, etc. So for the adaptive phishing programs, what's the difference between the usual phishing and the adaptive ones? Is the configuration is pretty much the same. So it's very similar to usual phishing campaigns. The main difference here is that right now you can set up the phishing campaigns, or phishing, I would say, we call it instances, or the cluster of phishing for the half of the year or for the whole year in advance. So meaning that you set it up once and then it keeps running for, let's say, 1 year. Right now we have 2 modes in the adaptive phishing, since it's right now it's beta. So we have 2 modes, is the test mode and the usual mode. The difference between them is, just a second. The main difference between them is the run frequency. So what does it mean, run frequency? Meaning that you can set up how often do you want that the phishing campaigns are running. So let's say right now you are running 1 phishing campaign in a month, or 1 phishing campaign in 3 months, right? So you set up your the run frequency that you would like, and then every month the phishing campaign will start a new circle, adjusting the risk level. But it's hard to test within these run frequency intervals. So we introduced the test mode where the run frequency is a bit less. So you can test it within 2 minutes. 30 minutes. So in the test mode, you can set up the run frequency to 30 minutes. So from 30 minutes to 24 hours, but I would say 30 minutes is the best. In order to test, to understand how the feature works, to make it easier and faster. Okay, so let's say we start with the setting up the run frequency that we would like. That's good thing. Then we go to attack simulation. And this is the difference between the usual phishing campaign and the adaptive phishing. So there are 3 risk levels, as I already showed you before under risk scoring. Right now on the platform, there are 3 risk levels: rookie, advanced, and expert mode setup. And you see that each risk level contains a couple of scenarios inside, right? It can be more, it can be 5, 7, 6, so whatever you set up here. Adding this scenario is actually, it looks the same as the usual phishing campaign that you used to. So you are adding the message template and the sender email address, etc. So you adjust the landing page, you add the SSL. So as usual, you add the phishing domain, etc. Same as before. But right now you are adding not one campaign, but you are doing actually each scenario, meaning each running circle, each campaign, okay? And so you create, so to say, a pool of phishing simulations that will be circulating in your company, like in your that will be sent to your employees within the certain time. So if you set it up for 1 year, it will be doing this for 1 year, for half a year, or whatever else you set it up, okay? So you add the recipients, like usual. You can do the scheduling. The anonymity is also possible, like everything else is like in the usual phishing campaign, okay? And then you press start. So I show you the campaign that is already started and finished. So you press start, and then since this time it became fully automated, meaning it sends the emails. So in my case, this is the test mode, so they are running 30 minutes. Then in 30 minutes, it stops automatically. The platform analyzes the user behavior, recalculates risks, and based on this risk, it assigns the new scenario from the configured pool in each risk level automatically, and the new campaign begins. So the second campaign starts. In this campaign, we can see the usual campaign statistics, like how many emails sent, how many clicked, phished. You can also see the statistics per recipient, so everything like usual, okay? Then the next 30 minutes, it runs the next 30 minutes or 1 month or 3 months, depending how you set it up. And then it goes, so the test mode is can run only 10 circles. This is the limitation, but of course, usual campaign can run as long as you set it up. So what we can see here is the risk level for the last 5 campaigns. So for the last 5 campaigns launched here. So you see how the risk level is changing per campaign, per each campaign. You can see here the average risk level of your employees. So here you can see that if the adaptive phishing program is running, each time it's only one phishing program is running at a time, okay? And yeah, so here are some statistics, the average attack risk score among the company or among the employee. Of course, you can also do the export stats and see your statistics for the whole campaign here. So this automatically filters your adaptive phishing campaign, this one. And you can see, so I don't have that much statistics here, but you can see that there are 10 there have been 10 campaigns and twice people clicked. So now you see the phishing statistics, and of course you can do the export and create a report from it. Okay. So actually, within each, so as I said, each scenario runs for 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 month, depending on your run frequency. Then after this campaign stops, the user receives a new scenario based on their updated risk level, and the next campaign starting. So what is important to say here is that once you start the campaign, it works fully automated, so it runs fully automated, and each your recipient. So let's say all of your employees are rookies at the beginning. So all of them, let's say you put here 5 scenarios, right? So not everyone receives the same scenario at the beginning. So your employees will be multiplied for, like, let's say there are 5 scenarios. So each group of people will receive something different, so that, and then they will rotate depending on their risk score. So if they stay in this rookie risk level, they receive another scenario with the next circle. If they advance to the advanced risk score, they will receive this scenario, etc., etc. So the goal of the platform is to always change the scenario so that the employee doesn't receive the same that they already received here. So in this case, the adaptive phishing allows us to be behavior-driven and automated. Malcolm, I think we can.
Thanks, Anastasia. Yeah, that's great. We just bring back up the PowerPoint. So that was adaptive phishing, the start of automation. And now we're going to talk about Aura, which is the next part of automation. They're not directly connected, but this does a very similar thing for your awareness training. And Anastasia will run you through this one as well. Slightly different sort of format, and you'll need to register for this to operate this as a beta feature. Anastasia.
Yeah, 1 second. So let me introduce you with the Aura platform. I'll start with this one. So Aura is a fully automated awareness engine, meaning that you can set up the awareness plan for the whole year with multiple topics and automated. I'll give you an example. So again, the campaign is already running, and we have the curriculum here. So just in words, Aura is a different tool that is connected with your Lucy server, or will be connected if you ask for this, with your Lucy server, and it sees the recipients, it sees the topics, etc. So for Aura, there are only predefined topics. Right now, there are 19 predefined topics for Aura to run. As you can see here, I have 5 topics in my campaign, meaning that I want my employees to receive 5 topics one after another during, I don't know, let's say 1 year, okay? So first of all, I choose here, I can't choose more topics because the campaign is already started, but I can choose the different topics and decide on them. We can preview each topic. So each topic consists of the course, like main training, and the learning boost, like a reinforcement. We can preview all of them, so let's do so. Oops, I logged out here. So let's do it once again. So if as you've seen, it's always connected with one of the Lucy servers. So to do preview, I need to first log in. Yeah, so this is, for example, one of the boosts. It looks like a one-pager. And it makes sure there is also a short quiz, so with 4 questions. So it makes sure that the user did not forget the information from the main course. So it's like a reinforcement for some time. Oops, no, where is there? I closed my Aura connection. Okay, sure thing. I stop sharing to make sure I find it again.
That's what it's like sometimes.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Multiple tabs.
So Malcolm, maybe now while I'm searching, maybe you can talk about the topics that are created for Aura, specifically, so that they were created by our team.
Yes, so we have a specific new set of training that runs with Aura, which is paired together for the main training module and the boosters on the 19 different topics, as Anastasia was mentioning. So you can't use existing content from Lucy or any custom content. It's just the content that's in the Aura platform, and it's currently only available in English. This is a sort of early beta release because we want you to try this and see how you like it and what you'd like to change. Would you like more boosters or different lengths of courses, etc.? And obviously we're going to translate them for the main release as well. But it's about getting a feel for if you think it works to do what it is that you want to do with it, which is, as Anastasia said, to set some priorities for the training that you want to deliver, choosing the topics and which ones are weighted ahead of others. And then for the system to go scheduling the delivery of those materials. But while Anastasia continues to get herself logged back in, I'll just steal some of her thunder. You can have the topics set up with a lifetime to them. So if you've got a particular topic that you want to reinforce heavily, once it's 6 months, say, since somebody last did that course, that'll be pushed back into their learning pipeline again. So you don't have to reset that each year, not only your priorities, but the frequency of learning, but it will be pushed back into their learning pipeline. So it's about managing not just individual training campaigns, but a whole environment of training and prioritizing that.
Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. So I'm back. Let me share my screen as well, once again. Yeah, so as I said, I stopped that there is each learning consists of the main course and 2 awareness boosts. Here you can set up the time for validity. So meaning that after the completion of this course, this topic will be valid for 1 year, or you can decide like 6 months, 2 years, etc. Same thing, you can configure when the boost should be sent. So in my setup, they should be sent in 3 months after the course, the main course was completed. So in the first 3 months, the first topics will be the topic boost will be sent, and then in the next 3 months, the second one. Okay, so let's say we set up our curriculum. Aura also delivers the topics based on the priority. So you can set up the priority here, saying that I want this course to be delivered as first, this one as the second, etc., etc. Yeah, so you can also set it up and configure. Great. Then after we set up the curriculum, I go to settings, and this is where I see the usual settings of every single Lucy awareness campaign. So basically you set up the domain, you give the sender name, sender email, subject, language, as Malcolm said, only English for better version, and delay time between the emails, meaning that that Lucy will send 1 email per 3 seconds at least, so that your SMTP server won't be overloaded. Or you can, I mean, like, you can set up the number of seconds you want the delay in. Okay, so we set up all the configurations. We add recipients, as I said, already synchronized with your Lucy server. And it shows you, like, mirrors you your recipient groups that you can see here. And if you have Azure or LDAP, it also synchronizes recipient from your Active Directory here. Okay, then we go to scheduling, so you can schedule a settings when the next topic after the first one should be sent, how long is the course validity after expires should be resent to the recipients, etc., etc. You can also define here the reminders, and they will be completely automated. And then you just press start to start the campaign. Okay, so let's see. We started the campaign, right? I did started the campaign. What can we see here in our dashboard? We see the overall resilience level across all the employees and all the courses and all the topics that have been sent to my employees. So since I only configured it like 5 days ago, my employees are only right now they're completing the first course, so the second should be sent in a while. You can see the overall topics validity, yeah, and the number of recipients, and also the resilience over time. You could see it for all the topics, for the certain topic, for example, this one, the first one. And here you can see the dropped recipients, which means that if the recipient are not engaging with the platform, with the emails that you are sending, with the awareness, they're not reacting, not clicking, doing nothing, they will be put in this list, and then the admin can decide if they want to contact them, if they want to delete them from this list, or whatever. So this is the overall statistics. You also still have the operational statistic for the running campaign. So right now the first course has been sent, and you can do the breakdown by content. So for example, now only the main course was sent, not the awareness posts. And you can see how many courses were sent, boosts were sent, how many reminders were sent, and if there are any errors. So this is the fully operational stats that you have here. And of course, you can see the statistics also on the recipient level. So for example, now I see that these two recipients, they started to do something at least, right? So yeah, so Aura gives you all opportunities to track, to see what's going on here and meet your employees at the stage where they actually are and not where you assume that they should be, let's say. Yeah, and you always can switch here and see the guidance on how Aura works and all the steps that are introduced to launch the company, what's going on after the launch. So you get the explanation exactly on what topic validation and resilience calculation are. And of course, you even can see what's running in the background. So what's going on once you launch the campaign, how the Aura interacts with the users, what do you see, what's the logic behind this with all this validity, resilience, boosts, and course. So you can see this in the nice scheme. So yeah, that you will be always, that you always make sure that you know what's going on there. Yeah, Malcolm, I guess if there are questions, we can leave them at the end. Now we can proceed further.
Although I would say, while I'm switching the screen over, of course, you showed end user statistics, but with anonymization running, you won't have access to those. I think that's right.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Just like in the normal platform.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's the end of the sort of automation features. The particular thing to note about Aura is that all the others are available as soon as you upgrade to 5.7 as beta features. Aura, you will need to contact support to have an Aura server set up for you to try. So we'd encourage you to do that. So now we're going to talk about Microsoft Teams phishing, a new attack into your toolkit, allowing you to attack using the Teams platform if that's what you use in your organization. We know many organizations use that. So Anastasia is going to take you through how to set up one of these attacks and have a look at how that feels for the end user. Back to you.
So yeah, to set up the Microsoft Teams phishing simulation, it's quite easy. I would say that the first you have to connect your Azure with Lucy, right? So right now, if you ask to test Microsoft Teams, your license will be updated with this small checkbox here. So we're under Azure applications. So you see my Azure application is already connected. So if I log in there, I will have this checkbox as well. So if your Azure is already connected, you just need to add this one and re-authenticate here as usual. So you connect your Azure or Enter ID with Lucy, marking this checkbox. Then you go to Messenger settings. And here under the list, you see the Microsoft Teams. So there are WhatsApp, Meta, whatever. So you choose the Microsoft Teams and you connect your Azure, already connected Azure. So you choose your Azure ID and verify this. So once this is done, then it's quite easy because you are actually just set up the campaign. The campaign, you choose any template of your choice, so it doesn't matter. It could be a hyperlink template, it could be the web-based template. So there is no limitation in there. So you set up like the usual. You set up the template. The only difference here is that. So okay, let's say I go to the scenario and then I go to message template. So usually in the phishing simulation, we have email here, right? So, and then in the email, we have sender email, etc. So here, it's important that we switch to Messenger. And then it looks like this. So you set up the language, and there are two main variables that you should use in this Teams message. It's the recipient name and the link. You will find, as usual, actually. So these variables you will find here. So you type the text that you would like here and save settings. And please don't forget to use also the antivirus firewall protection interval, since Microsoft is clicking all the shortened links. So if we set it up for 30 seconds, I guess, so to avoid any automated clicks that happens from the Microsoft end. And then in the normal Teams chat, it looks like this. So I tested with my colleague, and it's just very simple and very usual, but it says, "Hello, Morna Vessels, please click here." The link could be a bit customized, so shorten a bit. But basically, once I click the link, I will see either if it's a hyperlink, I will be just redirected to Google, or maybe sent a training. If it's web-based, like usual, I go to the fake website, and then I should enter credentials, like whatever. Okay. It's important that to mention that I send it from my name, from my real name in the chat, right? So you can do some impersonation attack. Yeah, and then it's actually, to set it up, it's really quick. The main thing is that your Azure should be synchronized with Lucy. And it gives you like the option to test users in their daily communication channel. And yeah, to make sure that they are aware not only about the phishing email simulations, but also such things like Microsoft Teams, to make it more realistic.
Okay, thanks, Anastasia. That's good. Let me flip back over and we'll cover the last main topic, which is AI translations. We know we have a lot of languages, content in a lot of languages within the tool, but many customers are adding new content all the time and new attacks. In particular here, we're talking about AI translation of attack. And there are gaps in our coverage of languages. So it's important to be able to get the attacks in the language that you want. or the multiple languages that you want. And rather than having to go out to a translator to get all that done, or find somebody within the company, we've introduced an AI translation tool. So Anastasia is going to show you that. It's really quick and easy, and talk about how that works within the beta. Back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so as Malcolm said, if you would like to test this feature, you should also ask by support and say to enable it here. So it will be enabled under the advanced settings. So let's say, but okay, I'm by the ATAC templates, and let's say I pick this, or like you can pick any template you'd like. It doesn't matter if it's hyperlink or web-based. So how do I do this? I go edit template. And here I see all the languages that are already available. But let's say I want to add here, I don't know, let's say Dutch. Okay. So first of all, I add the language that I would like the template to be translated in. Then I save it. Then I go to the message template on the left. Okay, fine. So here it's chosen automatically, but you should choose the layer with the Dutch, the one that I want it to be translated. And then we see our usual editor and the translation button near the preview. So I click the button and translate to Dutch. Okay. So it's been translated already. It looks like Dutch. I say apply translation. So my changes, it's already applied, but not saved yet. So I have to press save, as always in Lucy at the bottom. Okay, fine. So I do the preview. This is how it looks like. The beauty in this that it preserves the structure and formatting. So all the buttons, links, and etc. are working as expected, as in an initial like English language. So you can easily translate it to multiple languages. It's actually the integration with DeepL, and DeepL supports more than 40 different languages. So it should be more than enough, and every time it expands their panel. Right now it's introduced mostly for and there is a small guide that guides you through the process, so says what you should do in order to translate it, etc. If you have the web-based template, meaning you have the message template and then the landing page, you should translate them separately. So you first translate the message template and then you translate the landing page. Okay. Yeah, I guess for the translation, it's mostly for the HTML content. So if there is some content in JS, JavaScript, or something else, it won't be translated for now. So, but all the templates that are HTML based will be translated in a click. Yeah, Malcolm.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to proceed, or maybe yeah?
So I'll move on to the last of the groupings, which is other improvements. Hold on. And I guess we'll pick these up together, Anastasia. So there are 3 other improvements which are not betas. They're just part of the general upgrade to 5.7. LDAP and Azure import synchronization, the balanced transaction log, which is to some extent tied into the AI translations, and perhaps we'll just mention about that right now. So there is a charge for there's a credit required for the AI translation. It uses tokens, and that'll come out of your account balance. So the transaction log will allow you to see where you've made drawdowns on your account balance. That's basically right, I think, Anastasia? we won't necessarily show that now, but that's allowing you to see what's been spent. And it's very modest for most of the translations of attacks. There's not much text in there, so pretty straightforward. But you can therefore see them all. You know what you've been spending your money on. Go on. You were gonna say something.
Yeah, okay. I will demonstrate a couple of features because for LDAP and Azure, so there are some more synchronization tips for LDAP, and for the Azure, they are added 3 filters to ease the search across the groups. So yeah, it's mostly the start with, end with, and such type of filters. What I want to show is the that Malcolm said, the balance. Yeah, so once I translated, I can then check where my balance went. So it's under this little guy on the top, and then you press the license, and then you see you have the full balance history here. And it shows you, okay, on this time, I used 1 Lucy token, or meaning $1 for translation. And here I used 7 Lucy tokens for translation. And then probably I registered the domain. No, it's only translation only. This is our test server. But let's say if I go to another server, I will show you. Here you can also see something else like the manual ad from the admin. You can also something about if you register a domain, if you update your domain, it will be also visible. If you use it for SMS, for whatever else is needed money on the platform, you will be also see it here. You can filter by months, and yeah, so you can do the range here. Also, the awareness templates, the update for the awareness templates is that right now you can restore the template. So meaning that if I log in, so right now you can also restore to default also the awareness template. Before it was only possible for the attack templates. So if you made any changes or adjustments, or like you made some specific adjustments for one campaign, but you don't need anymore, you can restore it to defaults and then reuse this template further. So right now you can do this as well in the awareness template. Yes, what else? Yeah, no, what I remembered one more thing in the campaign. So let me show you. Yeah, so in the campaign scheduler, there was the start and the stop date introduced. So in the one-shot campaigns, usually before we used to have just the start date and the stop date. So you can calculate based on the number of users and the time delay between messages. And then you calculate and you have, I don't know, let's say it takes us 1 day, 24 hours to send emails. And this includes also the overnight sending. So right now we introduced the feature that you can also set up the start hour and stop hour. So let's say we have 10,000 users. Let's put it here. And I want that the run frequency will be 7 seconds and that it will start, okay, let's say tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow at this time. So it will last, like you see, one day, right? But I want it to start, at 9, for example, meaning from the work time, during the work time, and ends at 18, right? So that means that my emails will be sent tomorrow from 9 to 18 and on Thursday from 9 to 18, meaning in the work time. So there won't be sent in the overnight. So I encourage you to test this feature first with several users, but basically you can use this. It's quite a good thing, so that now you can control when the emails are sent so that they won't be sent overnight, or maybe you need just very specific time from 9 to 12 or 12 to 3 p.m. So whatever. Right now you can control this. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm done with the features, and we can go to questions.
Thank you, Anastasia. Yeah, we've got some questions in. So let me just have a look through. There's a few questions. So I understand that translation tool works only on attack templates currently. Are there any plans to extend that to awareness content also? We ask because we like to pair up attack and follow-on training languages. Anastasia, do you want to do that, or do you want me to pick that one up?
Yeah, I can answer this. So right now it's we tested this on the awareness templates. The awareness templates are mixed HTML and JS JavaScript. So for example, all our quizzes are written in the JS JavaScript. So right now they can't be translated. So they only can be translated manually, or if you put them in ChatGPT or whatever, like use any AI agent. So right now we're working on this, but for now it's only applicable to attacks or partly to awareness. You can try this with awareness, but sometimes it breaks the code because it tries to translate it. So we are in the investigation phase on how to avoid this, but basically we can say 100%, we can give you a 100% guarantee that it will work for attacks. And with one click, for awareness right now, we don't have this, let's say, confidence. But we are working on this.
And that's, if we can get that to work in the near future, that'll be great. Obviously, that's where,
absolutely, yeah.
And in fact, in the balance log where you see some of the larger credits, that's where we've tried to translate awareness templates. Obviously, there's more content. So another question about the Teams attacks, saying, is it possible to spoof or hide the message sender ID?
No. So this is the complexity. The only complexity of the Microsoft Teams is that it is the impersonation attack. So actually, you imagine that that someone hacked Malcolm's account, for example, and is now sending the phishing emails or phishing messages to me. So in this case, you have to learn your employees that if you receive something suspicious, you first contact Malcolm in another way, like you call them, you go there and ask him personally or whatever, if you work in the office. So this is you can introduce this as the more comprehensive attack to your users, to learn them to kind of not trust sometimes even your employees, because such kind of impersonation attacks can happen.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then a question about adaptive phishing. I feel we might start with 3 risk groupings, but we might find over time that we have our category boundaries not optimized, or we want to subdivide a risk category, say go from 3 to 4. Can we adjust this with the campaign running?
Yeah, so usually once you press start, the campaign is fully automated. You can't change anything, but what you can do is you can stop the instance, like not the currently running campaign. The currently running campaign should remain running. That's fine, but you can stop the whole instance. We call it instance, right? With all of the risk levels, etc. And this one you can edit and then start it once again without interrupting the currently running campaign. So you can add more risk levels, or you can delete, you can change the scenarios that, for example, have not been used yet, or yeah, so it's possible.
Okay, good. Thank you, Anastasia. That's all the questions we've had in. So
I see one in the Q&A about the WhatsApp phishing. So great work on the new feature.
Okay, yeah.
Just wondering, will there be a WhatsApp phishing and attack simulation using a WhatsApp platform? So it already exists. Actually, we have if you remember, I showed this under messengers. So if you let me share. Just 1 second.
And actually, I think there are some videos on the YouTube channel about WhatsApp phishing attacks.
There are videos, and also we can send the setup in the like PDF with the setup. We can send you the guide. So just 1 second, where I used to be. Okay, I go to common system settings and then messenger settings. Close email. Okay, here under list you have, so you choose WhatsApp by Meta. And as you see, it's already synchronized in my account. So actually, the only thing is that you have to register your Meta account, Meta Business by Meta, and this can take a couple of days at least. And then actually you synchronize your WhatsApp with Lucy. Again, you verify the connection, and you can set up the also the WhatsApp phishing. So it's already exists, and you can try this. Yeah, so it's ready, not sent, but whatever. And you can try this. Just a second to give you like look and feel of how it looks like. Yeah, so there are certain variables that you have to, or I would say certain names for the templates that you were configured on the WhatsApp Meta Business. So you will have an external platform, as I said, the WhatsApp Meta Business, where several templates will be configured, and then you just choose one of them to make sure your employees or whoever you are sending this simulation will receive the correct one that is configured based on your preferences. So if you are interested, we can send you the setup script. And if you have questions, we can, of course, help you with the configurations later on.
Great, thank you for that, Anastasia. We'll probably do another webinar on WhatsApp in the coming months. Good, thank you for attending, everybody. I hope you found that helpful. There'll be a recording of this session made available shortly. Thank you. See you all soon. If you've got any questions that pop up, actually, just as we close the meeting, then do email them in and we'll get back to you directly with an answer.
Yeah, thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.